Good evening.
Evening.
Welcome to the Civic Center Committee meeting. And we want to make a motion to approve the previous minutes. A motion?
Second.
Second. Okay. Any opposition? So carries. Voting side? Okay. Okay, moving on to our authorizing an agreement with SMG and the Albany County Convention Center Authority regarding a shared employee plan. I see Mr. Belver, you're there, waiting to speak.
Yes, thank you. So this shared employee plan, which was developed back in the fall of 2015 in conjunction with the Convention Center Authority, is such that there are 11 key employees of SMG that operate the Times Union Center that handle, for example, payroll services, HR, accounting, marketing, that also have the ability to handle those same services for the Capitol Center. And this shared employee plan would have some of the work that would be required at the Capitol Center be handled by the same people, thus providing a savings to both Albany County for the Times Union Center, which would save, as soon as the facility opens in March of 2017, during the first full year, we're projecting a reimbursement to the county for that full year of a little over $375,000, which would, in effect, go right to the bottom line for the county. The Convention Center Authority for the Albany Capitol Center would also save almost $200,000 because it would not have to go out and hire a brand new staff or a whole new staff in the same categories to handle those same services. So this shared employee plan has worked very effectively in other markets where SMG has had convention centers and arenas managed in the same market, and in some cases it's been two different clients, in other cases it's been the same client. But it works very effectively. Each one of those employees received a small increase in their compensation, but overall the county saves a tremendous amount of money as a result of this. And it gives each one of our key people the opportunity to stay here in Albany, potentially be promoted up a little bit, and in essence save both municipal partners a fairly significant amount of money.
Okay. Is there any questions? No questions? Can we get a motion? A second? Any opposition? Voting sign? Carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other thing, Mr. Belver, you done?
Well, he's got the leases, but we were going to consider grouping all the leases since they're essentially all the same, except they're different people leasing. So
Okay.
first thing you need is a motion to group them as a group and take them as a group.
So moved.
Second?
Question on the motion?
Oh, question.
I'm sorry, does that include just the suite leases, or are we gonna talk about lambs differently?
That's just the suite leases.
Okay, not the restaurant, understood.
So we got motion, second, and, okay, carries. So that's 2 to 7, we're going to have it all grouped. That's fine.
Right, so the next motion would be to approve all those leases for suites.
2 through 6.
2
2
through,
to 7.
no, 6.
6. Oh.
2 through 6.
2 through 6, okay. Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Voting sign? Carries.
We probably will have approximately the same number next month in additional renewals for suite leases. Just wanted to let you know that they're going at a rate where we think we'll be 100% renewed by next month.
Nice.
Okay. Number 7, authorizing a lease agreement for the rental of retail space at the Times Union Center, Miles Kitchen Corporation, DBA Lamb's Kitchen.
Yes, this is a client a tenant that has been in that space since the building opened. So it's now going on 26 years. We're asking for an approval for another term. We've asked that they improve the interior of the space and make improvements on their own, given the length of time that it's been in existence with little additional improvements made up to now. So they have agreed to make changes to the walls and floors and furniture, and approximately $30,000 worth of improvements are going to be made and paid for by them. They've agreed to a $1 per square foot increase in the rent for the next term, and they are current on all of their rent and utility payments, so they've been a good tenant.
Any questions? Okay. Brian?
What's the need for the upgrades? Is it just run down inside? And I bring it up because I'm asking a different question. We've had some problems way in the past with some of the fumes and the smoke from the kitchen, and it was affecting some of the other office spaces. Is there damage to the space now that needs to be fixed up, and are there any more issues like that with the other spaces?
I'm glad you brought up the issue of the exhaust, which has been a little bit of a problem in the upper floors, as you may know, in the radio station and so forth. As part of the Atrium project, there is some work that would rechannel or change directions on where the flow of that exhaust will go. And that's not just for the Lamb's Kitchen, but it's also for Dallas Hot Wieners. Right now, there's exhaust that comes right out onto South Pearl Street, for example, and that would not be the case after the Atrium project is complete. They're going to exhaust it straight up to the roof, and especially with the LED video boards that are proposed for the fascia above those retail tenants, you don't want to have that exhaust be going into the back of those video boards. So that's going to rectify that issue of the exhaust as part of the Atrium plan. But we had a little bit of an issue with them many, many years ago, and it since has been rectified a long time ago, with them not cleaning the exhaust and having their contractor come in to clean it frequently enough. But that was addressed, and about 10 years ago, they started doing it on the frequency that was required in the suite or in the lease.
What's the time frame on their upgrades, and will that interfere with the Atrium project? Will they be all done?
It wouldn't be anything. Their upgrades is strictly floors and walls, tile and paint and furniture. So they can do all of those things, and it won't have any impact on the Atrium project at all.
Okay. Is there anything in the lease about when they have to have this done by?
There's not a deadline. We can impose one if that's something that this body would like us to do, but I think that they're going to do it within a very quick amount of time. We certainly can put in that it should be done within 6 months if that's something you would prefer.
If that would be reasonable, I don't think it's a bad idea.
Okay.
I'd leave it up to you as what's reasonable and how much work has to be done.
I think that's
It's fair to
reasonable.
them, but-
I think it's very reasonable. Right now, they're on a month-to-month. Their lease ended in March. So they've been paying on a month-to-month basis. They're still current even on a month-to-month with the rent and utilities. But we can certainly put in that they'll be required to do the upgrades within 6 months.
Okay. Any other questions? We have a motion. Second? Vote?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Bell. Mr. Latina, thank you.
Good evening.
His turn. It's his
Okay.
turn.
Authorizing an agreement with Renee Building Contractors, Inc. regarding general construction work on the Times Union Center Atrium project. Mr. Latina.
Yes, we're requesting that we enter into a contract with Moraine Building as the prime contractor for the atrium. This is one of 6 prime contracts that we'll be going for tonight. There was one lower bidder, but he left some stuff out of the bid, so we had to go to the next bidder, and that's why we chose Moraine.
Any questions? Brian?
Just kind of a standing question on all of them, just to clarify, your presentation tonight was excellent on this.
Thank you.
But,
Thank you.
these are all union contractors, all 6, and we're all
Yes.
expecting that they will use union labor?
Yes, it's
They all
required.
meet all of our requirements under the statutes and laws that we have passed, yes.
Labor and apprenticeships, right?
They
Apprenticeship,
all have apprenticeship agreements.
WMB and MBE, all.
And I do appreciate you going beyond the first bidder that was not responsive, because that's very tempting, and it always cost the county money in the long run, so that was a
Yeah.
great decision.
Any other questions? Okay, motion. Good second. Vote. Okay. Authorizing an agreement with Desiree Mechanical, Inc. regarding mechanical construction work on the Times Union Center at the Atrium project.
Correct. The Desiree was the lowest responsive bidder on this contract for HVAC and mechanical construction. This, again, is just part of the Atrium project on our complete renovation.
Any questions? Motion to adjourn? All in favor?
Number 11.
Okay. Authorizing agreement with Conklin Electrical Contractors, Inc. regarding electrical construction work on the Times Union Center Atrium project.
Again, Conklin was selected because they were lowest responsible bidder on the electrical contract for $1.297 million, and they were the lowest responsible bidder.
Questions? Motion? Second. All in favor? Aye. Authorizing agreement with Digitally Mechanical, Inc. regarding plumbing construction work on the Times Union Center Atrium project.
Again, they were selected as the lowest, I'm sorry, they were not the lowest bidder, but they were the lowest responsible bidder, the Desiree, at $727,000. The other two contractors that were lower forgot to add some stuff that should have been in there, thus we would probably had change orders if we would have went with that.
Questions? Motion? Second? Favor? Number 14. Authorizing agreement with Daktronics, Inc. regarding, oh, I skipped one, I'm sorry.
13. Yeah, I'm lucky.
13. Okay. Authorizing agreement with Condor Fire Sprinklers, LLC regarding fire protection work on the Times Union Center Atrium project.
Again, Condor was the lowest responsible builder at $312,500 for all the sprinkler system work.
Any questions? Motion? Second? Favor? Now we're on 14. Authorizing agreement with Daktronics, Inc. regarding digital display board work on the Times Union Center Atrium project.
Daktronics was the lowest responsible bidder for the screens at the Atrium project at $803,500, and they also do work already at the TU Center. Daktronics.
Brian?
In our contract, what's the maintenance arrangement for them after the project? I only bring it up because I know these signs have a tendency to kind of wear down. I think we had some issues with the front one in the years past about.
Yeah, I think- Yeah.
On the bid side?
Yeah.
Yeah, so part of on the bid side, they have a 5-year warranty included for all the work, new work they do. I'm not really familiar with any of the existing.
There was also a requirement for them to have a certain number of replacement boards.
Correct.
So, and that's important, so you don't have to wait for the time for it to go out and come back and repair it.
Yes.
The designs look great, but it's a considerable amount of lighting. I'm wondering if anyone could talk about energy efficiency, sustainability type.
Well, we engineered the project for the most green capability we possibly can.
Is that across the board, or is it?
Across the board. I mean, everything is going to be, the streetscape will be LED, all the signage will be LED, plus all the other work we're doing in there, you know, with the HVAC. Should hopefully lower some of our costs as heating and cooling, because now we're enclosing the area as far as the interior of the facility itself. Should help us bring costs down.
The boards too, the LED boards are made, now they're made much more efficiently than they were even two or 3 years ago. The amount of power that they're using is less now than it was, you know, a short time ago. And I'm sure, you know, it'll change over time still, but these are the most state-of-the-art boards that you can buy, and it'll be quite effective, I think, on the streetscape.
Okay. Have a motion? Second? Favor? Aye. Now we're moving on to the.
Can I just ask one quick question? This essentially is all the contracts for
Yes,
this
this is
project,
all
correct?
the
Just- I
6
just want everybody to
contracts.
understand, we won't be coming back with another $2 million contract next month.
No, sir.
No. Or a $2 million change order either, correct?
No, sir. As we were doing the addendas, we made sure that all the work was included in all the addendums in these contracts. So change orders should be, unless barring some, as they get into the work, some large structural issue that we run into, that's unforeseen. But as far as the project goes, everything is here.
It's my understanding that not only that, did you go over with them, that they signed saying they understood what was in the addenda as well?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, by signing the bid form, right on the bid form, it says they understood that they included not only the original bid documents, but all addendums that were included, and they had to initial and put down each addendum they received, so we're totally covered.
Thank you.
Now we're reviewing the income statements. Everyone has that?
So currently, the arena is on track with the budget. We are happy with where we are. There's some great shows coming in the early part, as well as the rest of the fall. I think that we're looking good at this point, that we'll hit our numbers for the end of the year. And there's still more to be booked. You know, there's stuff that we're working on for the last quarter currently. I do think we'll have a first MMA event before the end of the year, which we'll be announcing very soon, which should be a instant sellout because of the demand that's been out there. Not whether I like it or not, it's just that there are some that do, and it'll fill the arena.
Is it a UFC or is it a?
It will be a UFC. Yep.
Okay. When is the circus coming to?
I'm sorry, it's around the 5th of October. It's in that first week of October.
That's always good. Is there any questions, Ms. Spellman, about the income statements? Got a motion? Second? All in favor? Okay.
Motion to
Can we have a
adjourn?
motion to adjourn?
Just like to
Oh, we got
thank
5 of
everyone.
those.
Thank you.
Thank you all.